I've made videos talking about Anbernic's devices before in the past. I'm a massive fan of their devices, so this review might be a little bit more biased than some people might have anticipated. But I just love this device so much that I felt compelled to make a video about it, because honestly, this device thoroughly impressed me. The new Anbernic RG35XX Plus is the sequel to the much beloved RG35XX. One of the things mainly separating this model compared to the previous is that this version has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and a slightly upgraded SoC, allowing for a higher degree of performance and other consoles being able to be played. Both devices use USB-C to charge, have a headphone jack, have the same number of buttons, come in very similar colors or the exact same colors. I do not remember all the colors for the original RG35XX, but I do believe they are basically the same color scheme fundamentally, and it uses a more traditionally DMG sort of styled Game Boy layout. It has all the kinds of buttons you need, basically minus analog sticks. It has your standard ABXYs, D-pad, which is a phenomenal D-pad. Has R1 and R2 and L1 and L2 on the back, which I like how they have them as different sizes, so you make it easier to tell them apart, though I do prefer it when they're not next to each other and when they're, below each other, which is something that you can't exactly do on this sort of DMG styled handhelds that come out as of late. So the compromise is there, but it is still probably my favorite compact style handheld emulation device. The Miyoo Mini was cool and interesting, but you just couldn't buy this thing anywhere. The Miyoo Mini got so overpriced and so perpetually out of stock. It was just unreasonable, or just something you shouldn't expect to have. Though this Anbernic device has far more plenty in stock, and you can buy them very easily off of Amazon for a little bit of a premium. But if you're willing to wait, you can get it for $64 on Anbernic's website, or you can get it for anywhere between $70 to $80 on Amazon. And on Amazon, you'll at least get next day shipping and stuff. Anbernic's site itself would take quite a bit of time because it's usually shipping from China in my experience, but sometimes they have US shipping options available anyways. In terms of performance, I would expect anywhere between N64 to PSP level of performance on the new Plus model, and that's cool and all. I'm so happy that you can emulate those devices on this new Anbernic RG35XX Plus, but I just don't exactly see the point in doing that. I do get there are some 2D games, side-scrollers or similar controlled games that you can play on this device fairly comfortably, but something like playing GTA, San Andreas Stories from the PSP just doesn't sound comfortable. Imagine playing Ratchet & Clank Size Matters on this thing. Yes, you can do that, but is it incredibly comfortable experience to do so? It's just not well suited for 3D platformers or 3D adventure games. Things like Mario and stuff, Mario 64 and stuff, just aren't exactly the easiest things to play on this device. But that's where it comes in as my favorite, more budget-oriented, high-quality experience for emulating anything from the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, the original Game Boy. All those 16-bit and 32-bit consoles are just a dream to play on this device. While this aspect ratio on the screen isn't exactly perfect for Game Boy Advance games or Super PSP games, it is generally just a really nice screen to look at. It is a brilliant IPS panel, and all these games look immaculate on this display. And being able to fill the screen is just so nice. It's just an amazing, visual experience. And these more sprite-styled games that you'd probably be playing more likely on this device are just such a nice compact way to play these games. It's just one of my favorite handhelds I've ever used in this category. I personally loved this device so much that I got a second device to gift to my uncle, who loves retro vintage video gaming. he is the one that got me into playing Mario 64, Super Mario Bros. 3, Mario World, all of those games he owned on, all the various consoles that he had set up in his garage. And I remember growing up as a kid just hanging out in his garage, playing video games and enjoying all the classics that he had. And this is a brilliant, probably the highest quality experience outside of maybe getting an analog pocket to enjoy those games on the go. And this serves not a very specific market. I wouldn't say this is the best value out there, but because you could probably achieve the same level of performance in many different ways for a much cheaper price. But to get the quality that this provides in terms of its physical hardware and features, it even has an HDMI port on the top of the device for you could dock it, the dang thing. And it's just well tied together, all these amazing features that come together to make a very high quality experience that simply isn't available on many other devices around this price range. I don't know if you guys remember, but do you remember the old Pocket Go devices that we used to see all the time? Probably like 4 or 5 years ago. Those were around the same price as this and was a markedly worse experience. And seeing how far the industry has come, and see how far companies like Anbernic have come from their original big hits into seeing what they do now, it's just overall a much better experience overall to use these devices, and truly is a very high quality experience. I just am in love so much with the form factor of this device. It's just the perfect way to experience some of the best classic Super Nintendo, original Nintendo games out there. You positively could play these games on your Steam Deck or your Odin 2s or your Ion Neo devices, but this is just such a more simpler experience, something that is uniquely, specifically well designed for a certain generation of games. Because while yes, you can play N64, Dreamcast, and PSP games, it's just not well suited. That's not what it's designed for. What this is really designed for are playing those more classic 8, 16-bit, some 32-bit titles. And one of my favorite games I played on this device was the original Rayman on the PS1. It was just a dream playing on this device. It was so visually stunning, the nice contrast in the colors, just the vibrancy of the display, and the quality of the controls was just, it made playing the game so nice. And I also own this game on many other consoles and emulated this game on many other consoles and handhelds, but it never felt good to play that game. And playing this on the RG35XX Plus, it was just a brilliant experience, and I actually enjoyed and played the rest of the game that way. This kind of device is really meant for the gamers out there who want to experience basically the 8 to 16-bit, 32-bit eras of gaming in the best way you possibly can. I'm not saying this is the best value out there, but it is the best experience at this price point for that generation of gaming. At $64 on Anbernic's website and around $70 to $80 on Amazon, it is a fairly competitively priced device and offers truly a very high quality experience compared to other devices that claim to do the same thing. And they do have variants that have analog sticks to make playing those other games more comfortable. But this is just the king of budget handhelds in my opinion. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Are you interested in a kind of device that offers these features? Do you already own one? Do you have any experience with these kinds of handhelds? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. All the other social media garbage down below. And last but not least, have a wonderful day.